Wow, I never thought I'd be up here 4 months ago, or a year ago for sure. My name is Buck. I'm a military veteran, United States Air Force. Are there any veterans in the audience at all, please? One of us? Okay. The events of last year really bothered me. And it bothered me to the core. And I harkened back to something that happened to me when I was 21 years old, when I was in the Philippines. I was stationed in the Philippines with the United States Air Force, and it was during the evacuation of Vietnam. And I remember all these refugees coming to the base from Vietnam, mostly children, some women, but mostly children. And they would put these children and these women on the planes in Saigon and Da Nang and other places and bring them to the Philippines, where we set up makeshift tents and everything to take care of these kids, right? Something happened in April of '75 that has bothered me ever since. One afternoon, the barracks chief asked us all to get to the day room, which is the big room in our barracks in the Philippines, Clark Air Base, and he said, I just need to meet with you guys for just a minute. And so we all went in there, about 70, 80 of us, and he said this to us. The overflow, the number of refugees, especially children coming to Clark, is overwhelming. We don't have enough room to put them everywhere. And so what the base commander is asking is he wants a show of hands, he wants to vote on whether you would mind giving up your barracks room for these children. And he said, I need to see a show of hands. Out of 70 or 80 men in that room, when he asked who would be willing to give up their room, 4 hands went up. And he said, okay, just to see the nay votes, how many of you will not give up your rooms for these kids? The rest of the hands went up. As for me, I didn't vote. I didn't vote because I didn't want to upset my friends. And at the same token, I was too big of a coward to raise my hand and say, yeah, I'll give up my room, knowing full well that that's exactly what I should have done. To this day, all these years later, at 64 years old, I think about that time a lot. And it was maybe 5 minutes. And it has bothered me ever since. One thing I wish I'd have done was shake the hands of those 4 men who said, yeah, I'll give up my room. You know? But the rest of us didn't. And that has bothered me ever since. Fast forward to about 5 months ago, and I lived my life. I got out of the service, so I became a middle school teacher. That's why I'm bald. I retired from the classroom in '09. I worked with education in the state agency now. But about 6 months ago, I saw on Facebook there's an organization for veterans who are more progressive than the run-of-the-mill. Not all of us believe in the eagle with the bloody talon, killing stuff right and left. We're not all that way. And it's an organization that I belong to now. It's called Veterans for American Ideals. It's not, we don't endorse candidates. We're not left, right, Republican, Democrat. Well, there is that leaning. But essentially it's this. What makes us American? Okay? What makes us American is not the color of our skin. I'm preaching to the choir, but even the choir needs encouragement, right? It's not the color of our skin or what we believe. It harkens back to the Declaration of Independence, our founding documents. The law of the land, my friends, is not the Bible or the Quran or the Sanskrit or whatever. It is the Constitution. And if we want to call ourselves Americans, that's what we have to harken back to and talk about. This is our beginning right here. that all people are created equal, endowed by their Creator with unalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that goes for every single one of us. And that goes for gays, that goes for refugees, that goes for every single person who breathes freedom in their lungs. And that's why I'm standing here tonight. If you know of any veterans that you think would join us in our cause, that we accept every single veteran who believes the same way that we do, that we serve our country not to kill, but we serve our country to preserve the rights for every single one of us. And that's why the majority of us serve. So tonight I ask you, I've got cards. If you know of a veteran that you think might join our organization, let me know, because what I'd like to do is create, I've got a Facebook page, Austin Chapter of Veterans for American Ideals, to join us, and not only just join us and talk in events like this, but get together and actually help people in real meaningful ways, you know? Help people move, help people set up, raise funds, do whatever we need to do to live out our creed, to live out what we're supposed to live out as Americans, because that's what we all are. And I cannot believe all these years later that we're still having to fight for fundamental freedoms. You know, the same thing I heard at 21, I'm hearing at 64. And the fight continues. I wonder what other choice do we have? So I'm here on behalf of veterans who feel the same way that I do, that we all matter, that we all count, that we're all Americans. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.